Hi everyone, it's Lonnie from Grace Blossoms for you, and today we're going to continue to work on our new journal, our joy journal. And so what I've done is picked out all the papers I want. I ended up with 3 signatures that are similar yet different. I've started to clip them so that they won't come apart. Not all the pages are exactly the same size, but I think it's gonna be okay. If they're all a little different, then it's at least uniform in that way. So what I thought I would do is just give them a final good crease before I put the clips in. And yes, I did cut down a file folder. I think it looks really nice, and it will make a good addition. So making sure that the pages are all in the center there. I'm kind of winging this as I go, so I mean, I've watched a lot of videos, but it's not quite the same as doing it yourself. So, alright, so this was the other one that has the page that is smaller. I purposely put that one on the outside. I put some book pages on hinges so that I could include them, and I'm just arranging them as well as I can. Some of the pages look like they're upside down, at least one does, because it's right side up on the other side. So that's different, but that's okay. I have the important part facing the right way, so that's what counts. Okay, so then this is the cover I'm going to use. And I have to mark where I want my signatures. So I have 3, and I want them evenly spaced. Okay, so we'll do one in the middle, and then one at 1/2 inch, and the other one over here. I want it to have room for expansion, so it's not quite even. Half an inch from over here is there. So again, right in the middle. Is where again 1¼ inches. There, and then 1/2 inch in from both sides. Okay, there. Then I can get rid of those dark marks. I'm not really too fussy whether they're gonna show a little bit. What I do want to do is mark along those lines where I want to do the sewing. So we'll go roughly the middle. So at 8.5, let's say. So the middle will be 4¼ so about there. And then we want one up top, not quite at the top. I'm just gonna go a ruler's width from the top and bottom. So there and there. Okay, so last chance to see if that's what I want for the front or this one. I think I'm gonna go with this one. So I'm just gonna put a T here for my top, and I'll put a B here in pencil, of course. So then what I want to do, I want them to be even and aligned with each other. So I have to draw the dots on here as well. And I'm just gonna line it up so that it's in the center of the actual cover. That way it won't be sticking out on either end. At least that's the plan. A little tricky lining them up when you've got the clips in there, but that should do. Okay, so then I'm going to start with the awl. I'm just going to put something underneath. And that did go through. I'll just make sure the holes are big enough for my needle with the thread. I'm using butcher's string today. I think that would be nice and strong. Alright, so those are my first 3 holes. So are you making one with me? Or are you just watching? Either one's fine. But I think it would be fun to do this with someone. It's good to encourage each other in these days. I have a verse picked out for the inside cover. I decided on Hebrews 12, verses 1 to 3. Since I'm calling it my joy journal, I thought that section of verses was appropriate. Alright, so this I'm going to do from the inside. Was that wise? I would like to go, well, it's fairly close, I guess. Not really. It's not really where I wanted it. So I'm going to try. There, that one's closer. Perhaps once I get the first one done, I will fast forward the rest, or just skip to the end of the making these holes here, because all right, so that's one. I kept these fairly thin too, so that we would have room to add lots of stuff later. We'll see how that works out. Okay, so I'm not going to mark the middle. I'm just going to go in blind for this one because it seemed to work better. There we go. Okay, that's 2. Alright, so sometimes eyeballing it works the best. Okay. Then we're going to have separate strings for each one. What was that rule? 3 times the length. 1, 2, 3. So for this one, I have about 48 inches. I gave myself extra because I don't want to be making knots. Okay, so then this is the one I want in the middle. So I will start with this one. And I will start in the middle, right? I have done the signature part once on my, oh, I guess twice now. Once on my butterfly journal, and then I made a similar. Okay, so we're going to leave some loose there for tying off later. Then I'm going to try and position that a little better. I'll probably go in here and then line it up from the inside of the cover. I'll get holes big enough. Lord, is it? That's good. All right, then all the way to the bottom. Making sure nothing is tangled here. This is the tail, and I've got that to come through yet. Okay, tail. And then I'm just going to kind of snug this up a bit here. And then for the finale, I have to go back up here in the middle hole and not get it caught. Especially in that string area. Don't want to split it there. So what I'm going to try to do is put it on one side. But first I have to make sure I'm getting it. I'm going to try and aim it at the camera, but having slight issues finding the path of the hole I made. It's like it's going the wrong way. It's going underneath There we go. Okay, so it's not splitting anything. That's good. Seems to be some tangling going on. Okay, I want it fairly snug now. And we're done with the sewing part now. And I do have way too much. So I'm just gonna cut some of that excess off. Okay, then I have the string here going in the middle. So I've got two ends coming out either side. Then I'm going to basically, I've already made sure it's tight. So I'm going to tie 2 knots. Making sure it's snug. Okay, that's one done. And then I can take these off because it's in there. And I'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I have finished putting the signatures in. I cut down the strings so they're not showing on the outside. What else? I made sure the string was taut before I tied them off. I erased my pencil marks. You can see between the signatures for now, but I would imagine once we start filling up the pages, there's gonna be less room. I don't know, maybe we'll always be able to see in between there, but I wanted to make sure I had enough room to expand. So right now this part looks like it almost comes together there. By the time we're finished, I don't know, we might have to do like a closure at the end. We'll see. So that's what I have for right now. So then I can decide if I want to decorate the inside of the front cover. I knew I wanted the verse on there, so that will go there, but I'm thinking of giving it some kind of a background. But let me read this because this is kind of my dedication to this journal. Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, Let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely. And let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God. Consider him who endured from sinners such hostility against himself, so that you may not grow weary or faint-hearted. And I think this is especially important these days because there's a lot of people who are giving up. And the joy that was set before him, the reason he endured the cross was because of the joy that he was anticipating that we would be with him one day. Because he had to go through the cross to bring us to the Father. So when Jesus said, "Come, follow me," I believe he was actually talking about following him to the Father's house. Because that was ultimately where he was going, and that's where he is now, seated at the right hand of the throne of God. So, alright, so I'm going to put this on some background. I think I want it to really stand out, so I'm thinking like black. Black? That would work since I've got the black flowers. So then I just need some black paper. Okay, so I don't use black that often, so I had to go find some. So I cut it the size of a mat. So I'm going to attach this. I think that was the hard part, doing the signatures. So now I'm looking forward to doing the decorating of it. Okay, it's a little too wide. So yeah, there won't be much there to decorate on the inside of the front cover. I'm just gonna apply some tape there as well. I think I'll use the wide stuff, see if that's easier. have to leave that space there for the closing for the spine. Okay, I have this feeling like I want to spatter some gold on it, but I'm gonna hold off because I feel like I've been spattering a lot of stuff with gold lately. So we'll see if that sticks. Alright, so I have book page. Like I said, I put on hinges so that I could incorporate it. I printed some digitals on cardstock. I got that graph paper, digitals on plain paper, coffee dyed, more digitals, plain cardstock, coffee dyed, digitals, digital. Here is a cross stitch pattern. It has 1 Corinthians 13 on it, at least mostly. I thought that was nice. I thought I might actually cross stitch maybe one of the hearts in here. That would be fun. And then, so yeah, that's that signature. The second one has the file folder, and I added some of the excess I had to make a pocket, and then a little flip out. So I have to glue it here and on the sides, and of course on the other side as well. So then I have some music paper, more digitals, and that piece that I stenciled the other day, it was still hanging around, so I figured I'd put that in here. So some digitals on cardstock, some on copy paper, some coffee dyed, some not. And I'm okay with that. I still like a clean look. I don't like everything. Like, I don't like total grunge. I like a little grunge mixed in. So, okay, so that's the second one. And then the third one is similar to the first one, except that I took an envelope, one of those business envelopes, and I cut it down. I had to re-glue one side because it opened when I cut it down to size. So basically I used a rather short one, so it didn't, you know, it's not quite full size. But I thought these would make nice pockets or envelopes. Probably more pockets since they don't have a closure anymore. But yeah, so that's that. And I would really like to know if you're going to make one with me. If you are, let me know in the comments. I'm going to start thinking about what I want to do for our first page. And actually I might decorate the back of the spine here too. We'll see. Anyways, I'm going to leave that there for today, and I wish you a blessed week in Jesus' name. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.